Dr. Samuel Betances has dedicated decades of his life to diversity, equity, and inclusion, long before it was a popular catchphrase. As a biracial, bicultural, bilingual citizen of the world, he offers a unique perspective of race here in America, and he joins us today from Guam. Wow, you're far away.
Yes, I am. It's tropical, it's breezy, and I'm glad for the weather.
I bet you are.
I miss my Chicago, but I'm glad I'm here.
I know you do. Doctor, we're talking with Wendy about the Afro Latino community, and how do you identify yourself? On the one hand, we say don't label people, but on the other hand, labels could be good, right?
Absolutely. The affiliations that you have, the context on how you look at yourself, and especially if you have had a traumatic experience, if you're growing up in an environment and in a society that does not value you, you have to figure out how to reject rejection. And one of the ways you reject rejection is embracing your positive identity that doesn't always get the support from the larger community.
That's so, I identify with that so much, Dr. Betances. And when did you start to realize that you were living in the intersection of identities? For me, it happened when I was about 13 years old when we moved to Florida. When did that happen for you?
To me, it happens differently at different periods. My father, Black, Puerto Rican. My mother, white, from a very white European-looking family in Puerto Rico. And they get together and they soon leave for the United States. And the next thing we know, the family is living in Harlem in New York City. And they have had children. And what happens to each of us on our own individual journey, we have to tackle the issue. But the concept of when did I begin to think of myself in a positive way happens through time. And most recently, I am conscious of my Afro Puerto Rican or Afro Latino or Hispanic identity.
Do you find racist feelings more towards your Afro-American side or more towards your Latino side?
Do I lean one or the other?
No, do you think that there's microaggression or people are racist towards you because you're Black or because you're Latino?
It depends where you are. And so I, for example, in 1963, I joined a group of young people. We're going down south. We're going to make a difference. And I remember we stopped for a rest stop. And I went to the restroom. And when I'm coming back, I hear one of the young men, college students, speaking to a young African-American woman and saying, but he's really not one of us. And I remember I decided at some point I thought I had options, like being part of the more valuable society. And so that was foolish. You don't have those things. So I experienced hostility from the very get-go. And there's also a calculated question that demeans your presence. People always ask me, not what I do, but where I am from. And I travel around the world on business, and I fly business class. And when white folks meet, and even with Asians, they get into a conversation. They're about to share a seat for a 17-hour flight to Tokyo. And the next thing you know, they're in a conversation and they say, what do you do? And they flicker out business card and they talk about what they do. I sit next to somebody and the person looks at me and asks, where are you from? What kind of a Black person are you? In essence, what kind of a category? They never stop to think that I'm also traveling business class to do business in Singapore or Tokyo, Korea, or someplace else. So the issue of hostility where people look down on you, that has happened from time to time, but often it's very subtle. Like, you know, where are you from? Where can I categorize you? And that demeans your dignity.
That's such an incredible observation, because that's exactly what it feels like. Folks can be a sort of 360 representation of their person, but when it comes to that intersection of Blackness and Latinidad, you always have to give them context.
Definitely. Do you find that there is a way to overcome this, or is it just a matter of dealing with it? Because, as a Black person, I deal with it on a daily basis, but you deal with it twofold, from the being Black and being Latino.
And for us, one of the problems is that at a certain point in our lives, we actually believe we have options. So for example, when I was in the Bronx, growing up as a young person, I thought that if I just emphasize my Puerto Rican identity and my Spanish language, that would be clear, that the marker of my identity was not my Blackness, but my national identity as a Puerto Rican. And I find this with a lot of my friends from the Dominican Republic. When they get to the States, that's when they learn that they are mulatto, that they're Black, that they're partly Black or mostly Black. They only think of Black people sort of as the Haitians next door, or those are the Blacks. And then you come to the Bronx and you come to the United States and you realize that there's this label. People look upon you as a kind of a subhuman. And so if we're not careful, we run away from our identity. And so we emphasize our language and our nationality rather than the beautiful, and this is relatively new in my life, embracing myself as a person who has a blended racial heritage, and both count. And so that becomes, that's how you begin to do it. You have to enter into dialogue, you have to read about it, you have to discuss, and above all else, you have to be mindful. From a Christian perspective, God doesn't make junk. So in a sense, if you're good enough for God, then you've got to be good enough for yourself. And you begin to think like that, and then you transform, and then you find out that you can actually embrace the best of both worlds, Black and white, Afro Latino.
Dr. Samuel Betances, well put. Education is so important. Talks like this are so important. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. Be safe. Be well.
Gracias, doctor.
Gracias.
His book, Winning the Future. Oh, you're welcome. The Future Through Education is available everywhere books are sold.